Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where we are currently cruising our way through this quasi-endgame here. We're getting fairly close to the end of the game, and we've managed to largely improve things significantly in Iran. We are up to an 84.2 million GDP at this point. That's quite a graph, and that's going to continue to improve a lot. So we're working on these iron mines at this moment. That's understood. There's actually a transportation shortage in Isfahan. What do we got going on there? Yes, this needs to be expanded. So we'll do that, and then we've got an electricity shortage in Kandahar. This needs to be subsidized for the time being. So we'll do that for right now. That'll need an expansion eventually, I'm sure, but for right now, that looks good. Okay, so everything is looking solid there for now. The railway in Isfahan will be done in about 20 weeks here, and our iron mines are definitely slowly being worked on, but we've got a lot more of them to go. No doubt about that. So that's fine. We've got these in Iranian Kedah. I'm going to move any of these down that are low construction efficiency for right now. We'll just buy some time to hopefully get those shifted over to be higher construction efficiency. We'll see if our radicalism improves. It may or it may not at this point, but for the time being, this will do. So just going to move all of these down for the time being. Oh, this massively changed on us. Exciting. So that was a bunch of them that finished. That's okay. And we can just do something kind of like this. Okay, and then we've got this one here that we can move up. Cool. So that'll do for now. We hit a debate for racial segregation, which is not surprising. We have a 74% chance of debate. And we can just get a plus 15% enactment success chance. So beautiful. That comes out of the debate chance. So we've got a 19% success, 20% stall, and 59% debate. Okay. So we're still expecting to have debates. It's going to be RNG, but that's a good start. No doubt about that. So this railway in Isfahan is going to be done eventually. Things are looking good on that front, but what's less good is our number of workers. I wish, and I've said this before when we've played Victoria, but I really wish that this tooltip here told us how many open jobs there are. Like, that are actively being hired for. Like, that they're actively attempting to hire for, but they cannot find workers for. That would be really, really nice information to have. I suspect it's an escalatory number at this point. So that's absolutely understood. We would be very, very happy to start seeing mass immigrations happen, and that's fairly likely as our standard of living continues to come up. That said, we're only number 34 in standard of living, so that's noted. Law changes will be useful for that, but with our current government coalition, we're going to have to get some radicalism to get some law changes happening. And the question is, do we want that? Probably is the answer. Probably. So for now, this is all looking good. Of course, we're running quite a deficit, and we know that. But there's been large amounts of money flowing into our economy for now, and we're just riding that wave at this moment. So we're going to run out of money eventually. This is not a sustainable construction pace, and that's absolutely understood. Hello! Kurdish people are migrating from the Ottoman Empire to Khorasan. That's excellent. How many is the question that we now must ask. So we can see that this is currently experiencing... That is saying negative migration. Well, okay then. So we hit a debate here again, and that's not surprising. 21,900 government expenses for 5 years is insane. Just a flat 10% enactment success chance, we'll take it. So that looks good. We're up to a 29% success chance. Still the highest chance here is debate, but those have been pretty good debates thus far. So that's not bad. I like that. At this point, our construction is going very, very well. Working on privatization as well, that's exactly what I want to see. That'll keep our gold reserves up for the time being. So Khorasan, are you still having some awkwardness going on here? Yeah, so that doesn't actually appear to be very many Kurdish people coming into Khorasan, if I'm honest. That's pretty much just pop growth. Okay. So that's noted. A big part of this is, of course, going to be our standard of living. We're working on it. For the impoverished people, out of curiosity, what are they currently? Clothes, grain, and fish. And they pay 24.5% of their income in taxes. Yeah, that's understood. So we have some new production methods available. I'm not sure how useful those will be at this exact moment. We could go up to, like, steamships. Sure, we can produce steamships. We're in the British market, so that won't cause significant issues for us. We can also go to coal-fired power plants. Now, that's going to cause some significant issues for our power plants, and that's understood. So that's fine. I want to go to steam trawlers. There we go. We don't have refrigeration yet, do we? No. Okay. So that's going to cause significant problems with our power plants. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to unsubsidize, at this time, every power plant. We will resubsidize them if we have issues. That's the way that that's going to go. I'm also, while we're at it, I'm going to do the same thing for our railways. For right now, they're going to live or they're going to die. So we're going to unsubsidize everything, and we'll see where this ends up resting, right? Some of this is going to be problematic, and some of it is not. We will have to re-up some of these subsidies, but the idea behind this is we're just cutting the ones that don't need to exist anymore. That's the concept anyway. So we're going to see some shortages here. Absolutely. Although it may take a few weeks for that to take effect. So that's understood. And if we check in here, we can see we're no longer paying a ridiculous number of subsidies, so that's great. Okay. No issue over here yet. The other side of the fence. Okay, so trade unions could gain interest group approval, and yeah, we'll do that. So let's see what happens with racial segregation here, and we're keeping an eye on our power and transportation situations. The oil rigs in Turkmenia are going to be done in 2 weeks here, and we're working on sulfur mines in Kerman at this point. So that's absolutely understood, and there's a lot of this down here that's going to be a little slower, but that's fine. We've got about 10 months of construction in this queue at this moment, and this is looking good. Okay, so now we're starting to see these shortages come in, and this is expected. So a transportation shortage, or rather a shortage in any of these. Oh, I just right-clicked that. Right, I was trying to open up a menu there. But any of these shortages basically instantly indicates to us that we need to subsidize. That's what this indicates at this time. And this was a transportation shortage. Okay, so this would be an electricity shortage in Kurdistan. That means that we need to subsidize this power plant. In Semnan, we're going to need to subsidize the railway. That's not surprising. And we're also going to need to subsidize the power plant. Okay, that's noted. In Kerman, we're going to need to subsidize the railway. That's fine. In in Iranian Hormuz, we need to subsidize the power plant. And then also in Kerman, the power plant. Okay, so that'll be fine for now, and that will deal with most of these. This progressed to study. That's cool. So we're going to probably have more of these issues. And yeah, we'll just reset that. We'll probably have more of these issues, but this is just to expose where the problems with the pricing is, right? So that looks good. That should be handled, and you can see right away we're starting to pay some subsidies again. No shockers there. Okay, so now we've got Iranian Kedah here. We're going to need to subsidize this railway, but otherwise, that's pretty much... Electricity shortage in Luristan. Okay, we'll subsidize that. And of course, we have a lack of workers, right? So this may take a while for some of these to get their workers going on. Electricity shortage over here. Okay, we'll get that subsidized. And that'll be fine for the moment. So our population is growing. An electricity shortage in northern Baluchistan. Okay. We expected all of these. Okay, in Iranian Hazaristan. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Perfect. Okay, in a transportation shortage in northern Baluchistan, as well as in... Where was this other one? Was this... Electricity in Bampur. Okay, yep, that was this one. Okay, cool. So all of that is now dealt with. We'll see if more of these end up cropping up. They probably will, in all honesty. Protests across Luristan, huh? Yeah, they can become more loyalist. That's okay. We'll allow them to protest. So we're still working on racial segregation here. We have a 29% success chance, 20% stall, 49% debate. That's absolutely understood. We're working on all of these sulfur mines. Those will be finished up soon enough. Okay. So that's all looking reasonably good. I want to check in on infrastructure. Okay. There's some negative infrastructure in the Ottoman Empire, but we don't care about that. Let's then check for the moment on our government administrations here because I'm interested in taxation capacity. No issues on that front. Okay. We debated again here. Minus 25% enactment time will do for now. So we'll get that going. That's not a bad debate roll. We're rolling very well on this racial segregation so far. So that is absolutely wonderful. We're going to be finishing up these sulfur mines very, very soon here, and we can see we've crested 90 million on our GDP now. But let's check in here. Transportation shortage in Fars. Okay, so this needs to be subsidized, and we're probably going to have to subsidize the power plant in Fars as well, but we'll see. And we'll redo those subsidies every so often, periodically, until the end of the game. There's, I mean, not much time left. There's like 8 years, so that's absolutely understood. Any other issues here? As of right now, the answer is no. What are we paying in subsidies right now? Okay, that's very similar to what we were paying in subsidies before, so that is absolutely understood. It's definitely not ideal, but we do need to keep those running, so that'll do for now. We can definitely check to see if, like, the price of engines is a problem. There's a motor industry going in here. We haven't done all that much, actually, in terms of industrialization yet. We're still working on our resource extraction, so that is still underway. Our GDP is absolutely skyrocketing at this moment, though, and we can see our gold reserves are drifting downward, but not very fast. So we're just about done with all of our sulfur mines at this point. So that looks great. And yeah, there's a lot of privatization that is currently happening, so that seems great as well. We debated again. Ooh, this is a good one. Newspaper endorsements. Yes, please. So we're now up to a 44% success chance. This is going really well. And the rolls are becoming quite fast as well. So that's looking great. No real issue there. Our GDP has dipped a little bit. We have a transportation shortage in Fars. This actually needs a new railway. And then we have a transportation shortage in Mazandaran, which also needs a new railway. Okay, there was another one here, but that appears to have vanished on us. So we need to expand a couple of railways, and we'll get those going as soon as we can. There's some negative construction efficiency there, but that's not that big of a deal. Lead mines in Iraqi Ajami are finishing up as of this week, so that looks absolutely great. And then we're starting to get into this reduced construction efficiency, right? So that's not ideal, but it's fine, I guess. This is going to be like minus 12% out over here. This is not particularly happy with us. There's 28.1% turmoil here. So, yeah, it's not great. They've got a fair number of radical pops out here. That's understandable, but this is getting a lot better, so that looks great. How are we doing on our population? Yeah, look at that peasant count. Okay, so that's going to be a problem. Wow, a stall. Okay, so that's a bad luck roll there. Minus 10% enactment success chance. It's unfortunate, but it goes back into the debate and not into stall. So we're fine on that front for right now. That should be okay. We're going to continue to construct until the railway in Mazandaran and Fars are finished up. That's going to be a while. That's going to be quite a while. More than 3 months. Interesting. So all of this is getting worked on, and it's being worked on very quickly. We're going to allow this to finish up, and we are not going to pause our construction, I don't think. So that means that we should start working on probably arable land. That basically means opium, but let's check through this. So 0.84, 1.83 for rice farms. That's not bad. Okay. We're just checking all of this right now. So far, rice farms are the best, and actually they're better than the opium plantations, remarkably. Not forever, but they're better for a little bit anyway. So we've got 1.2 for tea. Yeah. So this is actually a little bit better. And that's increasing? Oh my. So we should just max that out in Mazandaran then. So that looks good. That's all of the rice farms that we can build. So what's the next highest? 0.88, 0.3, 1.02 for wheat. That's noted. 1.03, but I want this to be domestic only for now. 0.65, okay. 0.97. 1.73 for opium. That's not surprising. So we go for opium for a cash crop here. And this is going quite positive at this moment, which, again, is not surprising. So 1.16, and then wheat is at 1.01. Noted. So we can continue to drive down the price of opium a little bit here. This is going up due to economy of scale. Okay, at this point, we probably don't need more opium, and we instead want to get some wheat going here. But that's driving this price down to like 0.83. I'm going to go until this is below 0.8. Okay, so something like that. Then what else are we interested in? So this is 0.9. So that's definitely something we can do. We can take that down to below 0.8. And then a little bit more on the wheat there. Cotton is not tremendously good. Dye is pretty okay. We can build a few of those, and then that's below 0.8, so we'll call that good for now. A little bit more on the opium. That'll be fine. How are we doing on silk? Silk is kind of mediocre. Okay, so then we're going to go for tea, and tea is pretty okay for right now. That's looking very good, in fact. And then that's below 0.8, so then tobacco is quite low. Noted. So now we can start to do like 0.7. And this is below 0.7 now. Vineyards are all negative. Wheat farms would be quite a number of these to get below 0.7. In fact, this is quite a lot indeed. That is below 0.7 though, so we'll call that good. Cotton plantations, not too much needed there. Dye plantations, we can make one more of them. Opium plantations are definitely a thing we can make a few more of. There we go, that'll do for now. And then silk plantations, how are these going? And the reason I'm doing it this way is because we have limited arable land, right? So that's the way that we're going to do this for now. This is going up for the tea plantations here. Okay, that looks fine for now. And then these tobacco plantations, these are all pretty mediocre. So now we can go through again and go to 0.5. So that'll be about like that. Vineyards, still negative. Wheat farms, we can get quite a lot of these going. And we'll run out of arable land eventually. So we'll just bring this right on up. This is going to be a lot of labor that we need for this, of course. A whole lot of labor. Okay, that's now going positive. This is 0.33 down here in Semnon, so we're not going to work on that. Cotton plantations, we can get a few of them, actually one. Dye plantations, we can get a couple of these going. So that looks fine for now. Opium plantations, once again, a couple of these can be built. So that's going to end up, this is going positive. Okay, that's fine. So this is probably going to end up getting maxed out. Yes, that's correct. 0.33. Okay. Then we can get some silk plantations, but we don't need any. I suppose we could build these anyway. Kind of like this. There we go. And then tobacco plantations, this is 0.17. There's only a couple of these here, so there we go. We've got very little arable land left at this point, and the question is, what do we want to build in it? So livestock ranches are 0.38, wheat farms are 0.31, cotton plantations 0.44, so this is a pretty good one to go for. Okay, there we go. And all we can build now is livestock ranches, so we'll get this going. There we go. So that is all of our arable land built, or, well, queued up. So that'll be fine, and then I'd like to do another pass here, right? So iron mines, we can definitely get some more of these going in Isfahan. That's going to be ultimately being built beyond all of our arable land. So that looks good for now. And we're just continuing to deal with the demand here. Okay, so those are negative for now. That looks good. We could just build in Luristan, though, and get our iron mines maxed out. There's only 2 left. So that seems fine. We just progressed up to voting on racial segregation, so that's great. And we can continue to work on our lead mines out over here. Question is, can we get all of this maxed out? Well, we could, and I'm going to do it. There's only a couple more. So that'll be done. Then, of course, we've got our oil extraction, right? And I'd like to get all of this queued up. Yes, these are going to go negative. That's understood. It's going to take a long time to get this all built anyway. So we're going to get that all maxed. That's fine. And then we'll get our sulfur mines maxed out. So this is just getting all of our extraction finished up. So that's full extraction right there. Okay, so that looks good. And how long is that going to take to build? 4 years. It'll be a little longer than that. We've got a transportation shortage in Fars, but we're working on that right now. So that looks good. But yeah, we definitely need to get some of that going. But we're going to be plateauing in our GDP right now because we just don't have people to work in all of these places, right? So that is absolutely understood. There was a mining accident, and we'll gain some support for the trade unions off of that, I think. Let's see what happens with racial segregation here. It may pass. Debate. Okay. So, let's see. Actually, yeah. This is quite good. Vast sums of money flowing into politics, you say. This is now up to a 54% success rate, and it's going to roll again in like 30 days. So that's looking great. We're almost gone with our gold reserves at this point. That's not surprising in the slightest. So we're working on some of this expansion, that's understood, and that means that some of these in the construction queue are not actually going to end up being constructed, right? That's absolutely understood, but let's just work our way right on through this. And racial segregation is likely to pass here on this next tick. So we've rolled quite well on this, all things considered. About 10 days left on that one. And we can see we're about to run out of gold reserves. Our interest rate is a lot lower than it was previously, but it's not amazing. So that's absolutely understood. Okay, we hit another debate here. That's unfortunate, but we can boost up the trade unions and get ourselves a little bit more success chance. So 59% chance. And in 30 days, we'll roll again. So this is looking very, very good. We're also about to finish up compression ignition here, and that's going to create some problems too. We need to pause construction here because we are just about to go negative. So let's go ahead and pause that. We're going to be very positive here. And we've got, okay, there's compression ignition. We're going to need to go through and do a bunch of changes there. No active research, and that of course means that we should come down over here and grab like oil turbine, which we can do. It'll take a while, that's understood. And we are actually not innovation capped right now. That's also noted. So we're going to be building up some gold reserves for a little bit here, and we'll see what happens with racial segregation. Currently, the Revival Party has... Actually, this is very good. That's very good. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. So we're going to be building up our gold reserves a little bit. There's racial segregation passing, so that's excellent. What else can we potentially go for here? Well, not a lot. We're probably going to have to change things on the next election. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to have to do here. So this election is going to mean the Revival Party is going to win most of the election, most likely. So that looks good. No real issue there. And our population growth needs to continue to grow. We need a lot more pop. No doubt about that. We are up to about 1.17 million in gold reserves. We are just letting that build up a little bit before we resume our construction here. And while we're at it, I'm going to move down any of these that are currently in less efficient locations to build, right? So that means that, like, this opium plantation in Luristan would be moved down. These wheat farms would be moved down. And it would be something along the lines of this. These tea plantations would be moved down as well. There we go. And these wheat farms. We just want to delay all of these for now because there's a chance that we might have better luck on this. Or rather, that we might be able to build this a little faster later on. So that looks good. There are a few more of these in here still, but to be honest, this is good enough. We've gone through almost half of the queue. That'll be okay. There was one here. There we go. Yeah, that looks good for the moment. I'm going to resume construction. We've rebuilt most of our gold reserves, so that seems absolutely fine. And it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to have this election happen, and then we can probably do a few additional law changes. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. I just found a transportation shortage in Turkmenia. I am expanding the railway, actually. That's what that needs.